And I live just around the corner anyway.
Oh, well, that's good.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah.
I came to work here in 1990 and was here for nearly 17 years, I guess.
Wow.
When I came first, I came to work for on the van sales, which is probably a little known part of the company at the time. There was a very small van sales unit. It was part of St Ivel then, as it was, because it went through the St Ivel, Unigate, Crest thing during my time here. It changed company names quite a few times.
Oh, did it? I didn't
Yes.
know that.
But originally, many years ago, I believe it was called Dawes Creamery, obviously, many years ago. And then I believe Unigate came about the Unigate name came about as a merger between United Dairies and Cow & Gate.
It's okay.
I believe.
It's
And then,
sharing.
but anyway, I came here in 1990 and I joined the van sales team, and the van sales team was a small group. We had 5 or 6 vans, depending on the time of the year, and we used to go around the Devon area selling mainly clotted cream.
Yeah, because didn't it produce a massive amount of clotted cream?
The creamery was just down here on this bit at the top here, and to go in, sometimes I'd come in the morning and it was an early start, and we were mainly selling clotted cream. We sold some other things like yogurts and cheese, which came from head office and were delivered in, but the clotted cream, big trays of clotted cream, because most towns, and I went to Honiton and Sidmouth and Otter St Mary, and all those towns used to have a dairy, in the town. Totnes had a Lamb's Inn's dairy at the bottom of the town and things like that, but they all had a dairy.
Still in the 90s?
This is
this
is early 90s, early 90s.
So
and
quite recently, really.
Yeah. So you'd be selling trays of cream to these shops, these dairies, as well as going to other shops, but this was the main part of the business. And they would take these trays of cream, £10 trays of cream, they would scoop it out and repack it.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were doing a lot of cream by post. They were advertising cream by post. The holiday makers, and then they had polystyrene cartons, special things to put them in to sell it back. So, I mean, I'd come here early in the morning to load my own van, 5 or 6 of us down there. We had a small corner of the yard down the bottom with with a porter cabin, which was our office, and we were part of the company, but it was a sort of separate part of the company. And we'd come here, and some mornings you were short of cream, there wasn't enough cream. You'd have to wait for it to be produced, and you'd be at the door of the cream room as they were packing it, and you'd literally be taking it that fresh off them and putting it on your van and going off. And I remember thinking in those days I would leave here early in the mornings, probably get away about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and wave goodbye to other people as you went out, and then I'd wave hello to them as I came back in later in the day. That they'd been here all day, but I've been out around the Devon countryside, and so it was a nice sort of job. Yeah. That part of the business eventually merged with the chill chain side of Dairy Crest, which chill chain was the wholesale side of it. Okay. And it became more and more milk rather than cream and goods and that sort of thing.
How did they make the clotted cream?
They cook it.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a child in Cornwall, the lady I was living with used to she had an Arga or range or something like that, and she used to put a big pan,
tray
at the night when it was just bedded, just down, and then it was just this amazing stuff in the morning.
A big tray, not too thick, so then you have the crust on the top.
Yeah, that's right. It was incredible.
Yeah, and they used to sort of scoop it off by hand into these big cardboard trays that we used to sell like cardboard boxes.
Yeah,
and so I did that till 1996, and then it moved from here to Torquay, my side of the business, the van sales and the chill chain side of this. And so I took the opportunity to come here and work directly in the factory. By that time I had a few contacts and knew people here anyway. I lived in Totnes and a young family, and it was easier to be in Totnes.
Was it a nice company to work with? Were people friendly?
Yes. Yeah. It's like any company when you've worked there a long time. I think you build up relationships. You become friendly with some people more than others, of course. But generally you.
And were you on the processing? Is that where you moved to?
I came here into the milk processing, pasteurisation side, and the guy I took over from was probably not the most popular guy here, but he knew his job. He knew everything about his job, and I learnt a lot from him. And when he left,
who was he?
His name was Paul Laerty. He's sadly passed on now, actually, quite young as well, actually. But but He knew everything in the pasteurisation side. Yeah, when I came here, and then I think I learned a lot from him, and I was able then to.
So in a way, you were kind of like the engine for the rest of the, in a way, if the rest was bottling and everything.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, what the process was, the milk would come in at the top end here. We had a separation room at the top of the factory here that did the separating. The separating was separate to the pasteurisation and processing.
No, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. So we used to separate the whole milk and the skim milk. The cream and the skim milk, to separate them off. And at that point, cream used to leave site. Cream wasn't being used on site then because they stopped. The clotted cream stopped probably in the early 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to ask was unpasteurised milk still being sold then?
No.
No.
Not from here. No.
No.
It was all pasteurised. There was some unhomogenised milk because they were homogenising it probably all the time now to break the fat particles down.
Yeah.
And they standardise the milk these days, and they do the milk to a standard fat.
Yeah.
It's rare to be able to buy whole milk anymore. Anywhere.
Yeah.
The whole milk that you find now is standardised milk and not true whole milk, and it's been standardised to about 3.5%.
And then tell us about then sort of, because obviously you were here as it was closing, or you know, so did that come as a surprise, or how was that? How did you even hear about it?
I think people that were at the site a lot longer than me will tell you that there was always rumours about the site maybe closing and things happening. And as I mentioned earlier, there were several takeovers. In my relatively short time, it changed from St Ivel to Unigate to Dairy Crest. So there was changes going all the time and rumours, and so towards the end there was rumours, and then I remember in around May 2007, I think I was on a night shift, I believe, and I remember overnight hearing that there was going to be a big meeting in the morning the next day and things like that, and you heard these sort of things, and and I was sleeping in because I'd worked the night shift, but somebody phoned me and said,
But they didn't. Is that when they announced?
They announced that and like they all do, they announced that there's a risk of it closing, and and there's going to be a 90-day consultation period, but you know what it means. That it means it's going to close. Yeah. So that was around the May time, but they were very supportive. I came up into this building for several meetings with third-party people about help with doing your CV and help with looking for a job, and they held workshops on interview skills and things like that. We had a room down there which was set up as a little mini job centre with computers and notes on board. So there was lots of help and support from the local community, I think, as well, because the job centre people came and things like that. So generally people were okay, and people just got on with it like you've got to, really. At that time there was another dairy just opening up in Plimpton, and quite a few people went down there.
Right.
Maybe 10-15 people went down there, which might not be that many, but it was a few people that stayed together for a while. Yeah.
It's quite a loss though as well. People
Yes,
losing.
it was a loss. Yeah. Yeah. Of course it was, and it's it's a big shock to the town, I think, because right across all sectors, I mean, whether it be pasteurisation or packing or drivers or warehouse people, there's a lot of different skills here, I think.
A lot of jobs.
Yeah,
as
a
well
lot of jobs,
in the town.
No, I remember it happening, and it was a big shock.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to do with Dairy Crest. It was obvious it was going to be
it doesn't always feel real, actually. It doesn't feel real,
No, until it happens.
Until the actual end itself. I mean, I was lucky to get a job right away, but some people weren't. Some people struggled more than others. But
what did you go into?
I stayed in dairy, in the same thing. Yes, I went down to Plimpton and worked in the same. So it was.
And I suppose it's a bit like. I wanted to ask about the kind of social club bit that I've heard about.
Yes.
What, did you use that, or what was that like?
I didn't use it in a great way, but I know it was popular. We had I did use it. We had a football team.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a football team that played in the Veterans League, as they call it, the over 35s. Yeah. And we used to play here on the Astral Pitch, just up here, on a Sunday evening. We had special permission just to play all our matches at home on a Sunday evening because of people working in the factory, of course, and shift work and things like that. And
that's nice.
so that was quite, so I used to leave work at 6 o'clock to get up there for 6:30 kick-off some Sundays, if I was on the 12-hour, and on a Sunday actually for me was a 14-hour day, or 4 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock. And
you still played football?
And then I'd play football at 6:30. Well, I was younger then.
Staggered home.
Yes, yeah. So, but so the social club I think has been very big on skittles and short mat bowls and things like that. But I didn't go in there a lot. The Christmas parties were really good for the children, for the young children. For Father Christmas, they were the social club were very generous with the children. The children had a free present, a really nice present, and it was well attended. And so that had a good reputation. The Christmas party for the children, they had a really good. And the children, they used to make it special for the children. And so that was one of the main event I probably remember because I didn't use it regularly on.
But that's good. Brilliant. Oh, thank you. I'm just going to have that.